Whenever you do an adaptation of a novel, I always feel so lucky because you get so much to mine and you never get sort of tired ideas because you always have this amazing source material.
There was a script that I fell in love with. David has been extremely loyal to Hardy.
I've always loved Far From the Madding Crowd, but it's true that unlike, say, Jane Austen or the Brontes, Thomas Hardy hasn't really been on the big screen for a long, long time. And it felt as if the time was right.
Mr. Oak, I don't want a husband. I'd hate to be some man's property.
David was not trying to make a sort of sexy, modern, self-aware take on a Hardy novel. He was humbly trying to pull the essence of that novel into a script.
It was really David who managed to seek out and eke out what was central without losing what was fantastic about the book.
Perhaps you'd care to lend a hand?
You don't think I would?
No, you wouldn't.
I think we need this kind of story right now because we live in very cynical times and we need a story that is about something else. And I think this film really is an ode to passion.
It did feel modern, it felt relevant, it felt like it mattered.
There are just sometimes when you read a script where it just feels right.
It is difficult for a woman to define her feelings in a language chiefly made by men to express theirs.
We all felt this desire to be very loyal to Hardy.
Inevitably, there's a lot that happens in the book that can't happen in the film because it can't be 6 hours long.
Obviously, we had to do artistic choices, but we did look at this novel as the Bible. The actors were carrying the book under one arm and the script under the other, and so did I.
Please don't stare.
I don't think I've ever seen a face as beautiful as yours.
We always knew, because there's been a very famous John Schlesinger version of Far From the Madding Crowd, that we needed to make it feel different.
As far as I understand, Troy was the character that Schlesinger sort of fell in love with for many reasons, and he was the male lead of his film. We went a different route.
We thought there was an opportunity here of making Bathsheba and Oak much more at the centre of the film.
I think in many ways that shift of emphasis was partly a response to rereading the book and really being struck by the way in which Gabriel and Bathsheba are right at the centre of the book.
Well, you must not go.
You forbid me?
Yes, if you like. I forbid you.
It's this amazing companionship and really kind of beautiful intimacy that they have.
It's about them in the beginning, and then there's this sort of this rubber band, and they're being separated. And it has to be about the satisfaction of them getting each other. Obviously, that makes her choice of other men incredibly provoking and disturbing, which I find even more interesting.
Hardy has this terrific sense of place, and he coined this term, Wessex, and created this world, really.
I find these descriptions of landscapes bizarre and rich and original and tell so much about life.
He matches landscape to mood, so often there's a kind of sensuality to a field in August and a mystery and eroticism to a forest late at night. And he creates this stage on which to play out these stories.
He told me about another woman. A woman more beautiful that he'd loved before, and I couldn't bear it. So somewhere between jealousy and distraction, I married him.
There's a lot of characters, there's a lot of story to be told, there's a lot of reversals of fortune, reversals of fate.
He's not always an easy writer. A lot of the prose is sometimes quite dense and difficult, but there's always something thrilling a little way on.